Welcome to this very special episode of our program, Daily Debate. Today is the 10th of Ramadan. Today is a very, very dear memory that we are all celebrating together, the defining moments in the history of modern Egypt, as it represents a historic epic and military heroism that the leading military academies in the whole world have taught. Battles, victories, and sacrifices follow one another. Perhaps our victory in the battles of combating, or nowadays, terrorism, extremism, our battle against drugs, our battle against corruption, our battle in construction and development, particularly the area of Sinai, ensure us the glorious October victory has motivated everyone towards giving, building, and development. Moreover, it became clear that the spirit of October has been a reason of, or rather for Egypt's son to evoke the glorious, or the glorious past, so as to proceed in the battles in the present and the future. And just as the canal crossing in October 1973 was just the first step that opened the road to full triumph, so has the 30th of June revolution that has been the first step to the creation of modern Egypt and correcting the path to another stage of Egypt's modern history. All that has required us to document that and to speak about every year at this very particular night. Today we'll be speaking about those glorious moments in the history of Egypt, this epic that has changed the whole history of Egypt, and we'll be discussing that with our very distinguished guest, His Excellency Major General Mohammed Al-Shahawi, Chemical Warfare Advisor in the CSC. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, and good evening.
Good evening to you, and a happy Ramadan to you, sir, and all your beloved.
Happy the same to you.
Thank you so much. And before we delve into our discussion, let's first have a quick look on the top stories of the day. And President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi instructed to boost the engineering expansion within the framework of the state's plan to upgrade roads and access in all governorates. The President's directives came during a meeting to follow up on the progress report of the Armed Forces Engineering Authority's ongoing projects across the country. The meeting reviewed measures taken to upgrade Al-Bayt shrines, where President Sisi ordered to finalize the renovation work in an integrated form and in harmony with their historical and significant characteristics. The head of state was also briefed on the ongoing projects of roads in access sector nationwide, especially in the new administrative capital. And moving on to our next top story, and on that very particular day and on his social media account, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that this day every year reminds us of the highest meanings of sacrifice and patriotism, to be a figure of sacrificing every precious and valuable things for the sake of the homeland. Marking the 10th of Ramadan victory, President Sisi greeted the Egyptian people on this great occasion, praying that God keeps Egypt free, strong and capable of facing challenges, and for peace and love to prevail among its people. On her part, First Lady Intisar Sisi also greeted the Egyptian people marking the 10th of Ramadan occasion, saying it is an epic of defending the nation and liberating the lands. She said this day will be always a symbol of pride and dignity written in the heart of history, with the victory that the armed forces have achieved, which will always be an inspiring lesson that reflects the ingenuity of the armed forces. And before we move on with our discussion, first let's have this very quick report, and we'll come back for more discussion.
Every year, Egypt celebrates the anniversary of the 10th of Ramadan 1393 AH, after Hijrah, war victory. The 6th of October 1973, which the Egyptian army defeated Israel and regained Sinai after 6 years of war. On Ramadan the 10th at 2 p.m., the Egyptian army crossed the Suez Canal line. Waves of the Egyptian army began to gradually cross the Suez Canal in a very highly prepared work system that surprised the world. This precious memory reflects the genius of the Egyptian military in retrieving the land and conquering the impossible. Battles, victories, and sacrifices follow one another. The war victory led to victory in the battles of combating terrorism and extremism, the battle against drugs, and the process of construction and development, especially in Sinai, that ensures that the glorious 10th of Ramadan victory has motivated everyone towards giving, building, and development. Moreover, it becomes clear that the spirit of achievement has been a reason to evoke the glorious past so as to proceed in the battles of the present and the future. It is worth mentioning that with the advent of the victory, we have won the battle of construction and development in Sinai after decades of neglect and disregard. Sinai had witnessed the implementation of mega projects costing more than £750 billion within 8 years, as the opening of the Bahr al-Ba'r water treatment plant in September 2021. The plant is the largest of its kind in the world at a cost of about £20 billion to contribute to the reclamation of about 400,000 fidans within the framework of the National Project for the Development of Sinai. While celebrating the 10th of Ramadan war victory, we have to pay tribute to the memory and sacrifices of the martyrs of the armed forces, who paid their souls to defend the homeland and pave the way for development. The martyr spirit inspired Egyptians with the spirit of insistence on preserving the dignity of our nation and a permanent readiness to present the highest meanings of loyalty, belonging, and sacrifice to win any battle in life.